Hey everyone, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar here in Cedar, Riverside, Minneapolis with the Cedar Riverside Protection Alliance. I am so grateful for the fact that they are out here doing the important work, one, of informing the community of what is happening with these ICE raids, making sure that they are challenging ICE agents to have judicial warrants, and making sure that our communities have the resources that they need. Thank you, everyone. We are only protected if we protect one another.
Might have to drop a dime on them niggas.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta stop it.
I don't like that shit.
For sure, bro.
I don't like that shit.
All right, y'all, we back with another video. Y'all know how we do. Always pushing health, wealth, and a better understanding. So check this out. Trump administration just ends temporary protective status for thousands of Somalis. A lot of Americans are going to be pushing for this. They like this because they feel like it has just been an influx of immigrants coming into the country. And when you hear any of immigrants who came to this country, when you hear them speak about this country, they say things like this: you know, people just come to America for a better life. So we need to, it's like we have to push for people being able to come to America to live. So it's kind of like we have to take the burden on trying to help everybody else in the world get over here, and nobody else helps us. And we're talking about Black Americans right now.
You know what's interesting about the Somalian deportation? They want to remove the protective order. The person they need to blame is Ilhan Omar, because basically she brought so much negative attention because she's so arrogant. And the problem that these people don't understand is gratitude. Because basically it would be like you inviting someone over for dinner and then them complaining about the food and then refusing to leave, saying, we're not going anywhere. It's so rude and gross. And you know what? Like, nobody cares about your cause. Everybody just wants you to leave because we're so sick of this entitled attitude to our taxpayer money. Again, you invite someone over and they're like, give me your paycheck. I'm not leaving. And by the way, your house is a mess. These people actually are crazy. But you know what? Just like everybody else, you're going to get out. And someone like me can't wait.
What do you guys do to benefit anybody, to benefit Black Americans? Nobody shops at Black American stores, businesses. We don't have that. Okay? We don't have that support. So a real foundational Black American, or somebody that's really, you know, for the betterment of their people, they're going to listen to Dr. Claude Anderson and understand how the left uses immigration to undermine Black Americans and using them for their votes. Now, if you're an immigrant and you hear this and you don't want to speak on it and you don't want to say anything and you're just going to let this go on because you're here, you're going to be violating your status of even being here because you ain't speaking up on it. You letting it just get out of control.
Administration is ending temporary protection status for Somalia, affecting several thousand Somalis currently living in the U.S. and several hundred currently living in Minnesota under the protection. Somali migrants with TPS will be required to leave the country by March 17th. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem told Fox News Digital in a statement, quote, temporary means temporary. Country conditions in Somalia have improved to the point that it no longer meets the law's requirement for temporary protected status. That statement went on to say, quote, further, allowing Somali nationals to remain temporarily in the United States is currently and contrary to our national interests. We are putting Americans first. Bringing us out to a live image that we have of the White House over in Washington, D.C., as I continue to cite some more of this reporting courtesy of Fox News Digital. Sources tell Fox News Digital that there are 2,471 Somali nationals currently in the U.S. under TPS, with just over 1,300 in the country with pending TPS applications. The move comes as DHS continues ICE operations in Minneapolis, Minnesota, after a widespread, roughly $9 billion fraud scheme involving members of the Somali community plagued the state. Fox News Digital learned that an estimated 600 Somali nationals who are protected by TPS live in Minnesota. Now, Somalia was granted temporary protection status in 1991 as a result of an ongoing civil war in the African nation. Former President Biden most recently extended the protection in September of 2024. Now, the decision to end TPS for Somalia also comes a day after Minneapolis, the Twin Cities there, Minneapolis and St. Paul, sued the Trump administration after a historic federal immigration enforcement operation was launched by ICE and DHS. Last week, during ICE operations in South Minneapolis, a woman was fatally shot by an immigration officer as she drove her vehicle toward agents, prompting agitators to riot across the city and in cities across the U.S. Secretary Noem labeled the woman who was killed, Renee Good, a, quote, domestic terrorist, saying, quote, she weaponized her vehicle after blocking ICE agents on the road. Now, footage from the encounter shows an agent approaching Good's vehicle and ordering her to step out. And according to Noem, Good then attempted to run over the officer, prompting the agent to fire multiple shots into the car, killing the 37-year-old mother.
So this is, and I can understand why this would cause the president to end TPS in Minnesota. It's just getting too rowdy over there, you know, especially being a foundational Black American. Can you imagine it when they had the war on drugs and they were just pulling up in our neighborhoods, you know, arresting people for marijuana, for flowers, and we was just like, no police, you know, and we had this much audacity to do all of that, okay? Because, and I feel like they can do that because they already have another country they can go to. They could just leave the country, so you can kind of be more wilder. You can kind of, you know, say what you want, and because the most they're gonna do is deport you back to your home. So it's like they have more power to do, you know, to do whatever they want to do. In my opinion, I want to know what y'all think in the comment section. We sitting this one out. A lot of people trying to get FBA to get involved into their situation they got with the government and never included themselves in our situations. So we sitting this one out, and quite frankly, we want them to get deported because, like Dr. Claude Anderson said, you know, an influx of immigrants is going to undermine Black Americans. And we see that with resources. You know, we're spending too much resources on immigration. And with immigration here, they're using our resources to get rich. So, listen, that's what I feel. This is how I feel about immigration. I want to know how y'all feel in the comment section, man. Do you think they're going to start self-deporting? Or do you think they're going to sit here and try to fight? That's the worst part. It's like we hearing Ilhan Omar saying that nobody's going to move me out of the country. I'm going to stay. It's like the audacity. This woman is actually saying that she ain't going nowhere. We can't get them out. There's nothing we can do. Like, they're going to fight. They're going to show the nation that they can stand up to the president. It's like this kind of chaos is just not, it's not going to be good for, it's only going to be good for people who are immigrants. This kind of chaos is going to make it so, you know, immigration can benefit here. But I want to know what y'all think in the comment section, man. We're going live tonight. Salute to everybody who's supporting the channel. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit that like button, push me on the algorithm. I greatly appreciate that. And y'all know how we do. Always pushing health, wealth, better understanding of self. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love.
To have a community, you must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control four basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive and compete.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.